In today's episode, we are going to cover how I tricked my brain to like doing hard things. Did you know that in today's modern age of technology and social media, your brain is unnaturally releasing high amounts of dopamine on a daily basis? It makes you lazier, more lethargic, and less focused. Because of the availability of entertainment at your fingertips, it becomes that much easier to indulge yourself with the pleasures of the world. Your smartphone, your computer, and your TV are essentially legal drugs that rob you of your ability to do the things you ought to do. Is there any way to reverse or even prevent this from happening in the first place? The answer is you need to perform a dopamine detox. First, let's cover what dopamine is. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical that passes signals between neurons in your brain that controls our response to rewards. From an evolutionary standpoint, dopamine is released when your body believes you have completed a task that is beneficial to your survival, whether that be eating or mating. Nowadays, however, social media and technology can also induce actions that release dopamine, whether that being getting a like on an Instagram post or getting a victory in a video game. If you want to control yourself from getting high all the time, it's time to do a dopamine detox. Now, you might be asking yourself, why should I do a dopamine detox? Think of it this way. Let's say you have been eating every single meal at the best restaurant in town. As a result, those fancy meals become your new normal. If someone offered you a bowl of plain rice, you would probably refuse. It simply wouldn't taste as good as your usual restaurant meal. But if you suddenly find yourself stranded on a deserted island and you're starving, suddenly that bowl of plain rice will seem heavenly. That is what a dopamine detox does. It starves you of all the pleasures that you usually indulge in, and in turn, makes those less satisfying activities more pleasurable. While you can abstain from doing all things pleasurable all at once, I wouldn't recommend it. Instead of taking extreme action and starving yourself from all the pleasure, you can try by performing a smaller dopamine detox. Try this. Pick one day of the week where you are going to refrain from one of your high dopamine behaviors completely, whatever that behavior might be. Maybe you can choose to not open Instagram for one day, or you can abstain from playing video games on Tuesdays. Why not eliminate junk food and eat clean on any given day? The options are endless. From now on, every single week for one day, you're going to avoid that particular activity. Sure, it may seem like torture at first, but that's exactly the point. You want to let your dopamine receptors recover from the unnaturally high dopamine that's been flooding your brain. Chances are, after taking a much-needed dopamine detox, you'll find yourself doing harder things with much more ease. Comment below one thing that you will apply to your own life from today's video.